Well, hello there. Thanks for waking up to Sunrise at Sea. My name is Kieran Tolls, and if you're just joining in, you're right in time for our views. And today I'm going to be talking about something that so many of us may not want to accept that is actually ongoing, and that is staying with our parents. Parents actually raised us. They've actually brought us into this world. We've grown, and sometimes it reaches a point where we have to be independent. However, some of us tend to stay with our parents even at the age of 50, 40, 30. But when is the right time to actually leave your parents' household? Well, joining me in studio are the usual suspects in that, Sandra and Sarah. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Kira. How are you?
I'm good. You're all looking good. Where's my tea, though? Where's my tea? Well, today we have a letter from a lady who is struggling with, I think she's dating a man who's actually staying with her parents. And I'm going to read through this right before, we jump into
With her parents, with his parents? She's staying
with his parents.
The guy is staying with his parents?
Yes.
Okay.
But let me read the letter, and then the ladies will dive in and let me, if it's okay to stay with your parents. Well, the letter will actually be running on your screens, and this says, "Hey, Sunrise at Sea. I've been seeing this guy for a while now. However, his living with his parents seems to be becoming an issue now more than ever, to the extent that when I want to sleep over at his place, but now I'm inclined to ask, isn't this a red flag? Shouldn't I be worried about it, or better still how do I go about it without hurting his feelings?" And this is coming in from Joy. Her worry is not sleeping over the guy's place. she can't sleep at the guy's place. So ladies, I would like to ask you, would you ever consider dating a man staying with his parents?
Yes. I would, but it depends. Oh, Sarah's got a lot to say, but hear me out, Sarah. Hear me out.
I'm sipping my tea. What am I saying?
I would, because there could be different scenarios. He could be living with his parents. When he's looking after his parents, they have come to stay at his home, so he's living with his parents. There is that scenario. Or he could be staying at home with his parents. He has not moved out. But if you are still single, you don't want bills to pay, like rent, you don't have kids or anything, and you chip in here and there in the house. You buy groceries, you buy your car, you pay for the water, for the house help. You get it? And you have your own room and stuff. I don't see what the problem is, but it also depends on the age. You can't be doing that when you're 40. Clearly.
What age would you
I think for me it would be okay if the guy is in his 20s. You get it? Because he's still trying to figure himself out. So between 22 to 27, it's okay to stay with your parents.
22, 27.
Yes. After that, no. Kick him out. But because that's when you're trying to figure. I mean, I have a teenager, and
when are you kicking him out?
When am I kicking him out? I'm kicking him out at about 24, 25. Genda.
24, 25. Go, Sarah.
But first, wait. I want to clarify something for me. The lady, what is her problem exactly? The fact that she cannot go over and spend nights at his house, or the fact that when he's spending nights at her house, he has to call and tell lies to his parents?
No, it's the fact that I think several times she's wanted to have sleepovers at his place, but she can't have sleepovers or sleep over at his place because he stays with his parents.
This is what I have to say about, adult men who are still living with their parents. You have no business being in a relationship. Let me explain.
Yes.
You have no you have no business being in a relationship, because if you're still at home, regardless of whether you're taking care of your parents or you're still living with your parents, you have a lot of responsibility, and being in a relationship is going to distract you from where it is that you need to go and what it is that you have to do. For instance, if you're taking care of your parents and say your parents are sick or they're elderly or they just need some financial assistance, that right there is already a huge responsibility, and some may see it as a burden. You have no business being in a relationship, because you won't have the time to take care of your lady. And if you are unemployed and still living at home, you have no business being in a relationship, because you're supposed to be focusing on getting out. And
On
how are you
making
going to
money.
focus on getting out if every small money you get, you're paying for hair or transport money? Do you understand what
Yeah.
I mean? So it is not the time for you to be in a relationship. You know, get your house in order, get your business in order, and then start a relationship. Any lady who is dating a man who is still at home for whatever reason or the other, no.
What age are we
Hapana.
looking? What age are we looking at here, Sarah? What age are we looking at?
Even if you are 50, you have no business being in a relationship. Manage your business so that when you get into a relationship, you can focus on it and you do not have any other added responsibilities or burdens that you're taking care of at home. Because some people may see that as a burden, you know, having to take care of their parents. It's true, it's fact. And others may be down on their luck. I mean, COVID has affected a lot of people. Some people have lost their businesses and can't afford to pay the mortgage or pay rent, and it has pushed them, you know, put their
back home.
Exactly, to move back home with their families. You have no business being in a romantically involved with anybody. That is if you think it is going,
But,
you know,
but Sarah, I
anywhere.
beg to differ because you know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yes, food, shelter, and belonging. It is also very important. It is right there. So you can't say you have no business because we human beings were made for many things, and loneliness isn't one of them.
You're here encouraging people to fornicate. No. You are not to be in a relationship. You have no business. Why I'm saying that is because so that you can focus.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to be in a relationship. You have to be there present emotionally, financially, mentally. It is absolutely necessary. So if you have all these distractions and you have not yet sorted your life out or cleared it out, then you don't have any business bringing somebody into that. So if you're down on your luck, why are you bringing somebody in to suffer with you? Okay.
But there are upsides and downsides to actually staying with your parents, you know. So let's look at some of the disadvantages of actually staying with your parents. Sandra, you said you don't agree with it.
I don't know.
You don't agree with it. But what do you think? What do you think are some of the upside and downside of actually staying with your parents?
I think the only upside to it is avoiding certain types, you know, a certain amount of responsibility, like paying bills. You understand?
That's the only thing.
That is probably the only upside. Okay, and also perhaps you're spending time with your family. That is definitely an upside. But the downside to it is that you can't bring people over because you have to respect the boundaries of your home. It's not your house, so you just can't be sneaking girls in. Because this lady's problem is she can't sleep over at his house because he's living with his parents. First of all, it is wrong that you are sleeping with you want to sleep over with somebody who is you're not married to,
when you're not married.
at his parents' house. That's the ultimate, you know, highest level of disrespect.
So but I think chances are, do you think chances are a person who stays with their parents, they won't cheat on you if you know the man you're dating?
No, honey. Where there's a will, there's a way. Trust me. And I think this lady is also thinking, maybe he's not living with his parents. Maybe he's living with his wife. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You've heard that saying. Many women do not want to date a man living with his parents, but they are very okay living with dating a man living with his wife. Makes sense, doesn't
You've
it?
not heard of it?
I've not heard of that
No,
one.
it means that she wouldn't mind if he's living at home with his parents. I mean, she doesn't mind that she minds that he's living at home with his parents.
Yeah.
Because society has a negative connotation towards men
Men
who
who's
are still
staying
at
with-
home
yeah.
in their adult age. However, she doesn't mind a man that is married, hence he's living with his wife. So
wife.
she doesn't.
So, honey, Joy, I think you need to look at both sides, all sides of this situation.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a wife stashed somewhere or a baby mama, and he's saying the perfect cover up is to say, I'm living with my parents, I can't bring you over.
But for how long? How long does this actually go on? Well, let me read some comments from some of the people that are actually watching. And the first comment comes in from Chris Mill Harris, who says, it's a sign of family discipline and good upbringing. Why rent before you're ready? This is the cause of most premature relationships. That's why most relationships never find their way out of incubation. To some extent, yes. To some. Okay, why?
How
I was
so?
actually asking someone.
Yes.
I was asking someone the same question if they would actually stay with their parents, and they're like, well, I don't mind. I know everyone thinks, he's actually a guy. He's like, I know everyone thinks of it some type of way when you're actually staying with your parents. But he's like, well, with me, the good thing about it, one, I don't have to pay rent. Yeah. And why leave if I'm not yet ready financially? You know, you can actually stay with your parents, yeah, while you save up to make sure, you know, when you're ready to leave, you leave when you have everything figured out. So I think that's one of the reasons as to why men
But
stay.
let's look at it from a cultural and social aspect. Girls are expected to stay home until you get married.
Yes.
All my sisters stayed home until they were married. So from daddy's home to their husband's home. That is how it is supposed to be socially and culturally for girls. Whereas for men or young boys, on the other hand, you get to a certain age, 24. By 24, you're done with university, right?
Yeah.
So from 24, your parents are expecting you to move out of the house to do what? Go and start your own home.
Yeah.
So that is why it is frowned upon when young men, after the age of 25, 26, 27, 30, you are here saying 50. I don't know what is wrong with you.
Even I've seen men staying with their parents at 50.
Are still living at home with their parents. It's highly frowned upon because you look like a person, you look like, because young men are viewed as people who are irresponsible, who are lazy, and just have no plan in life. That is why when Sandra said that some women don't mind a man who is living with his wife, it's just because that right there is already a sign of some sort of status, that you're responsible and are able to take care of, you know, another household.
Do you think it's partly because of our upbringing, society, you know, African settings, you know? When you look at countries like in the States or even Italy or India, yeah? Now, for instance, in the US, yeah, most of the kids, by the time you reach actually 16, 18, you're out of your parents' house, you know. Kids are trained to be independent at a very young age as opposed to African settings, you know, where a kid, to be independent, you're 25 and above, or leaving your parents, it's 25 and above. In India or countries like Italy, staying with your parents is a very normal thing. Yeah. You know, it's very normal. You may be 30, even the whole extended family, your aunties and everyone is actually staying with you. So I think partly it's society or our brain, you know, that actually makes people get comfortable to stay with their parents. Then we have another comment from Frost DJ 256 who says, no, I wouldn't. I don't date boys. God said a man shall leave his parents and go live with his wife. Yeah, not a wife will leave her parents and go leave her husband's parents plus her husband. That's what Frost says. No. She doesn't date boys, so she considers everyone that stays with her parents boys. So men
with his parents.
Yeah, and I think we should stop. I know we are in an African traditional setting and everything, but I think with the way the world is going these days, I do not think that we should let our girls leave our homes as parents into their husbands' homes.
Yes.
They go when they are so inexperienced with life and they are so naive. Yeah, I think you should be able to pay rent, you know, pay a car, pay this, work hard, because then that makes you very versatile as a wife. You get, you're not very dependent on your husband, because if and COVID, you know, what if you lose your spouse and then you're there because, oh, I moved from my parents' house to here. No, you have to be able to rise up to the occasion and roll up your sleeves and get the job done. But you can't do that if you have no experience. If you've been sheltered your whole life and treated like a flower. I'm telling you, girls out there, your dad lied to you. You're not a princess and you're not a flower. You know, you should get down to business and do what you need to do.
Exactly.
Sandra is here busting my bubble. My father called me a princess.
Do what you need to do, ladies. Well, I'm going to give you a few tips for those who are still staying with your parents. This is actually going to be running on your screen. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the tips for those who may be staying with your parents. Doesn't matter how old you are. This is what I have to say. Remind yourself that this is normal. Yeah, the one thing so many of us feel bad or fear being criticized the fact that we still stay with our parents. If you're a girl, society will look at you some type of way if you need to get married and you're 30 or 35, you know. These are normal things, staying with your parents. Yes, it's a very normal thing. The another thing, make some money. Yeah, don't just get comfortable just because you're in your parents' household. You think they'll cover the bills, they'll buy the food. No, go out, look for that job, get that money once in a while, chip in while need be. Yeah, buy a bag of groceries every once in a while. Like Sarah was saying, buy your car. You know, pay some of those bills of your car. Yeah, don't just eat and eat. You know, make that money so that you're actually able to contribute to some of these things needed in the household. Then keep your living space tidy. Certain people get comfortable just because, oh, I'm still staying with mom and dad, I can mess around, I can be messy, you know, whichever way I want. And it shouldn't be the case. You know, it shouldn't be the case. And it's really, really annoying, especially for a person who may not be paying rent, yeah, buying food, and you're not clean. Honey, do something about it. Then eat dinner with your parents. Yes, I feel like when you eat as a family, there is always unity. You get to catch up on what transpired or what's really happening. Who knows, during these family dinners, they may guide you, you know, in how to leave the house. I don't know. But yes, it's good to have dinner with your parents every once in a while. Then get out regularly, you know, go out, talk to your neighbors, go out, meet friends. Being in a house all the time, locked up in your room, playing video games and eating and snacking and doing nothing won't really benefit you much. Yeah, so go out every once in a while. Then reevaluate your habits. For instance, if you're the kind of person who drinks a lot, yeah, who comes back home late, yeah, some of these things have to change when you stay with your parents. You don't want to come back home drunkard and knocking on doors. No, have some respect. You still stay with your parents. Then lastly, when you leave, do it in good terms. Yeah, so many of us are always excited or looking forward to leaving our parents' household, but believe me, it's tough outside. It's really tough out there, you know. So when you leave, make sure it's in good terms, not in the sense of you got into a fight with them and you're just storming out to be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm leaving this place. No, it shouldn't be like that. So ladies, yeah, I think those tips can really work for someone who stays with their parents. Yeah, and I personally, I don't mind someone staying with I would date someone staying with their parents. Yeah, but with me, it's the effort that you're actually doing or putting to actually go a step further. Not staying home and you're too comfortable. Yeah. If I know, yes, you're staying with your parents, but every day you're waking up and going to work, I think that's good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. It doesn't really matter even how old you are.
But what about the advice to Joy? Because I feel we haven't answered her question. For me personally, I think you have your priorities messed up, darling. Okay,
Maybe
like
worried.
your biggest problem shouldn't be the fact that him living with his parents is messing up, say, quality night time with your boyfriend. What about you? What are you doing about it? Are you living with your parents? Do you have your own space? I think she's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you should put your efforts or priorities towards, you know, you and your boyfriend probably finding a place together where you can enjoy your priority. But this, I don't think you should...
it shouldn't be a deal breaker.
It shouldn't be a deal breaker. It's something that the two of you, as a team, can work towards. It shouldn't be that he's the one, you have to leave him to handle everything, because she also hasn't explained what his current financial situation is. Are they just fresh out of university? Are they still in university?
Yeah.
Is he, you know, is he middle-aged? Do you understand? So what are the circumstances? I think the two of you, Joy, you and your darling boyfriend, need to come together and work on a plan to actually find a space together, so that you can spend more quality time together.
All the quality time you want.
Get that money. You know, women were so comfortable with the aspect of criticizing men. Oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing about it?
Hey, where is your home?
Where is your home? Here you may be talking, you still stay with your parents. Well, that's all I had for you. However, don't go away, as Sandy will be back with yet another interesting conversation in regards to January finances. Have you spent all your money yet? I don't know.